Hey Tubesers, today's video, or today is the third video in the Sigil-Craft miniseries. We are going to be, gonna put my pendulum down, talking about pictorial sigils, and this one should be a little quicker than the other videos, just because there's not much to it. I might have to pause just to give myself some time to think of a concept because I still don't have one just yet. And I kind of want it to be different from the previous sigil. So, a pictorial sigil, it's very similar to a symbol. However, the difference between a sigil and a symbol is a very fine line of a difference. A sigil will usually have multiple shapes. Usually anywhere from like 3 or more, sometimes a minimum of 5, but every now and then you can see some that only have 3. Kind of like my, where is it? Like the one that I have on my, I can't show you because you're sitting on it, but I have this sigil, this pictorial sigil, in honor of me and my patron. It has the pentagram, the earth symbol, and then like a crescent moon. And then you could say there's a fourth one of like the horn god depiction, but that's really up to interpretation because when it's drawn, it's not drawn as, let me just show you, because it's hard to explain. See, when it's drawn with different colors, so like this is the earth symbol, then the purple, and then the blue, and it happens to make the, you know, the Wiccan symbol of the horn god. That wasn't intentional, just happened to do that. So that's why I say it's kind of debatable whether you want to include that as a fourth symbol or not. But essentially, it's made with 3 symbols with that possible fourth symbol as a result, honestly. But, you know, whereas a symbol, it's comprised of lines. So a symbol and a shape are essentially the same thing. It's just a symbol is a shape with meaning. And then, so it's like you have your lines, then you have your shapes, then you have your symbols, then you have your sigils, okay? So your lines are just, you know, that's kind of more like the math stuff. It's just point A to point B, basically. It's a pathway of one point to another, which can be curved, squiggly, straight, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, whatever. And then your shapes are anywhere from 3 or more lines that are connected. And then your symbols could be more than that number of lines, but it has a meaning. And then a sigil will have multiple symbols and or shapes, sometimes just lines, incorporated that have what's that word? We'll keep it simple. Hidden meaning. So a symbol, the meaning's kind of known to most people, or at least a certain group of people. Whereas a sigil, it's usually known to the individual that created and or whoever it's shared with. Because if it's shared, then they'll have a meaning. They're kind of like the Ellis sigil, which is kind of also seen as, in some people's mind, as like a servitor, I think. But that's another whole conversation. So, basically, when you're creating a pictorial sigil, you want some sort of concept or desire in mind. You do not need, you can if you want to, but you don't need to do the intention statement because you're not using the letters. And that's why you really want to keep a concept. So you can do something like peace, and then you could do a pictorial sigil that way. You could do something like protect my garden. And so that's kind of where this one and the next one, the montrical sigil, are very similar. It's just different ways of executing the concept. So, and so then you would take that concept and you would find any possible corresponding shapes, symbols, forms, etc. that would relate to that concept or phrase, and then you put them together as a sigil. So I'm gonna go off camera real quick to think of something, then I'll come back and we'll work on our pictorial sigil together. So, alright, it was actually much quicker than I thought. So basically, I wanted to do something along the lines of success, and I was like, okay. And so what's really great about this is that when we're done creating it, you can use it with any type of success potion, especially if you have a crown of success potion, which I do, but it's over yonder, so I can't get it for y'all. But what you can do, and now what's really fun with Pictorial Sigils, if you want to, you can incorporate color magic. So I actually do want to get my colors. So you can use color magic as symbols for some of the words in your concepts. I'll be right. Alright, so I got the colors that I wanted to use. I know I definitely am going to be using this purple. And I might be using some or all these. I don't think I'm going to use this one. I just feel it might be too light. So it'll be most likely at least these two, or maybe something like this, or all of them. So we're going to set that aside. So basically the desire concept phrase is, my wisdom leads to my success. And I wanted to, like I said, address, I wanted something to be different from the last one, but something that could be universal enough where me, or y'all as well as me, or I, oh gosh, I'm struggling so much here, could use this in our day-to-day life or what have you. And I know some people don't feel comfortable about money or prosperity workings, so that's why I didn't go that route, but you know, you can succeed other ways. And what I really like is that I'm touching upon the wisdom aspect, and as witches, we are wise ones, and so I'm really making this as like a sigil for all witches to kind of succeed together, if that makes any sense. Because so many times we get thrown to the wayside, or a lot of times we do it to ourselves where we think that because we're following an old path, that means we're not allowed to be prosperous or have a lot of money or anything. That, like, it's almost like we have this underlying concept that we're supposed to be struggling. And if anything, and I'm not saying this in a, you know, snooty, ostentatious, rude way, but logically speaking, if we have the wisdom and understanding to manifest things into existence, then why are we not the rich ones? I'm not saying you have to be, I'm not saying that we all should be, but I'm just saying, if anyone's gonna be rich, it just seems to make more sense. Or if anyone's gonna be successful, it just makes sense. Because knowledge leads to wisdom, wisdom leads to power. So, I'm not saying that we should be in control and make all the muggles do our bidding. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it just seems kind of weird to be a witch and to be struggling. You may start off your path struggling, but and I'm trying to say this respectfully where it doesn't offend anybody, but I just feel like if you're still struggling as a witch and you've been doing it for a while, what are you doing or not doing to change that? I'll phrase it that way. So anyway, what we're going to be doing is basically starting our sigil, and we're going to pull from basically the two main words here, wisdom and success. Okay? And so in this case, we're not really using a symbol for wisdom. We're going to be using the color purple. Purple is seen as like connected to, you know, psychic abilities, wisdom, royalty, and all that. It's the colors of red and blue. Red connecting to masculinity and fire, blue femininity and water. So it's a balance of the two, and wisdom does tend to lead to balanced lifestyles and learning how to deal with contradicting situations. And then we have success, which to me success is an orange color. However, for complementary reasons, we might go with the yellow and include orange. We may even include red in this sigil. But the yellow and purple are complementary colors, and yellow is also often seen as a success color, because it's also linked to the element of air and the mind, so we're also kind of tapping into that. And then we have, if we're using the red, that could be for like the actions taken towards that. So, and then the orange could be for health as well. So, you know, we have other symbolism due to the colors that we could be incorporating here. So, I'm going to start doing little doodles, and I'm going to come back and share with y'all my end result, just like in the last sigil. So, I'll be on here real quick. So we could do some simple crown work. That's kind of the first thing that I want to address. So maybe we could do something like that. Of course, you could also make it more elaborate, where it's something like this. You could do a sigil like that. That's actually looking kind of nice. That's looking a little bit more of what was in my mind. So I'm gonna play around with some more sigils. I mean, some shapes and forms, and then I'll come back with y'all when come back with the end result when I'm done. So stay tuned. All right. So I've come up with the little design, or the sigil, excuse me, and it's actually kind of weird. I ended up not really liking the other colors being included. I kind of wanted this, I don't know. So I'm going to show you what I'm working with. Now, if you want, you can use the other ones with the colors, or make your own. But this is kind of the sigil that we're going with here, and it's going to be this one. Now, like I said, so these two are kind of the same. It's just this one's made with the color. And so this was the first one. I added a little more to it, see if I wanted to go back to this. Then I tried that, as y'all remember. And I think then I did this one. Yeah, then I did this one. And then I wanted to see what it would look like with some more, and I kind of liked it. And actually, let me add a little something to that. Let's see, do we like that? That. Still designing a little bit. I do like this one with the extra lines. I feel like that kind of like radiates the success. So I'm gonna, like I did with the other one, I'm gonna draw that on a separate piece of paper, and then I'll make it available for y'all to use once this video is released. Actually, if you're following me on the Facebook page, you actually get these sigils like a day early. I'm thinking about doing that, so yeah. So you'll get these sigils a day early, and that's pretty much that. That's pretty much the extent of pictorial sigils. And then you would just, now a lot of people think that you need to do something in order to like charge the sigil. I don't really think that's the case. I've never done that, and I bet these sigils work just fine. My thing is, you put your intention in thinking about your statement, and then you put all the creative aspect into it. And if you believe in your magic, which is one of the 16 goals of which I know I still need to get back to doing. I did one of them and I just like fell off. But if you believe in your magic, then it's gonna work just fine. So I hope this serves you well. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure that you watched the other videos. And remember that My second number is in the description box, so if you have any questions or want to talk to someone, feel free to give a text or even a short call, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. There is the next one we're going to be talking about is the Pictorial Signal. So, and I'm thinking about, if I haven't already, uploading these every day. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, yeah. So by now you probably already know, but I've been uploading these on it every day. So there's going to be the fourth one tomorrow, and then we're going to go straight into the Juju Magic mini-series. So I hope this is serving y'all well, and like I said, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'll try and answer them, and that's pretty much it. So as always, thank you for watching. Abundant and eternal blessings. Mwah.